These 11 things are something that every single man can start doing right now to become the most attractive and best version of themselves. Now, this isn't the generic physical attractiveness list. This goes way deeper than just going to the gym and improving your skincare routine. Number 1, participate in her interests. The difference between an attractive man and an attractive man is taking the initiative to actually stand out, to be different. Now, an example of this, my girlfriend is Lithuanian. And for me, that was trying to learn her language. Because a lot of men will not do that. But the fact that I took the initiative to try the hard thing and speak the language, and now I'm pretty good at speaking it, I'm not fluent at all. This doesn't even have to be if you're in a relationship. This can be on a dating profile. Say, for example, you see on their dating profile they like a certain book or a certain genre of movie. Go and take the initiative to learn about that genre, learn about that author, learn about their favourite artist, so that you can pop up with a message, or when you're on a date with them, you can actually talk to them and connect with them. Number 2, consistency. What makes a real modern masculine man in this generation is to keep to your promises, to build trust, and that's how a woman feels safe with you. If you say that you're going to do something, you go and do it. And if things don't work out, like you go on a date, something doesn't work out, it's up to us to sometimes take the initiative. Not all the time, but it's up to us to take the initiative to be able to have that trust, to be able to find a solution. You make sure your actions and your words match. Number 3, find your smell. Now, this could be seen as a bit of a generic one, but a lot of people just say, oh, smell nice, or yeah, whatever. But I'm going to go deeper and say find your smell. Actually take the time to look at perfume brands. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of going to the big brands like Hugo Boss and Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and that's great, but I want you to find your smell, not what's popular, not what's the thing that people are recommending on TikTok. And when I started doing this, I went to a proper perfume shop and I managed to look through and kind of talk with the person and find my smell. So try and find one that's unique to you, that matches your personality. Number 4, being emotionally intelligent. A good man, an attractive man, is okay to let his ego down a little bit in order to compromise and work with his partner. This goes down to simple things. If you're in an argument, having the willingness to sit down and talk about your point of view, talk about her point of view, and to say that you're sorry is really attractive. To be able to stay calm when things don't go to plan. Like I've said before, but how I mean this is if you're having an argument, to not raise your voice, to not swear, to not get angry. To be able to sometimes just take a deep breath and take yourself away from a situation. Number 5, having a mission or a passion. And this is why in all my videos I say to you, be yourself, have your interests. It doesn't matter if it's a weird interest that other people don't have. Because there is something so attractive about a man being passionate and not being worried about what people think about him having a certain passion, being nerdy and geeky about a certain passion. My girlfriend absolutely loved the fact that I do social media. A lot of people are afraid to do a lot of this stuff and don't do it. Whereas the fact that I geek out about this stuff, I love all the editing, all the technology, that's so attractive when you're in your element doing your thing. And as I said, it can be anything. But stick to your passion. Don't change for somebody else. Love what you truly love, because there will be somebody who absolutely loves hearing the geeky stuff that you like, if whether that's cars, golf, or sport, video games, anything. 6, a quick point, help without asking. This isn't just about relationships or chores. You can also do this in dating or with somebody that you're fancying. If you know that they've got a bit of an issue and they're telling you about this issue, something's gone wrong with their car, or they're struggling with something, or finishing something, go out of your way to help them. Because if you're living with a person, if you're spending a lot of time with a person, do things where she doesn't have to ask you to do it. If you know they value it, like for example, my girlfriend loves a clean house. My job then is to hear that and go, right, that's really important to her. I'm gonna try and keep the kitchen clean as much as I can. Or if I can, I'm gonna hoover. She will appreciate that more than a lot of things. Number 7, be transparent. Now, there is a huge difference between being transparent and being honest. And you might think in a relationship, okay, I'm being so honest, I'm kind of telling her everything. But are you being transparent? And let me show you the difference between the two. Now, honesty is when you tell the truth to that girl when they ask you something, right? So for example, a girl says to you, oh, have you been texting Sophie? I saw notifications on your phone. And you might say, Yes, I have, but it's only been about work. Like, sorry, yeah, it's about nothing. So you're telling the truth. You're being honest, but you're not being transparent. And being transparent is where they don't have to ask you the question because they already know the answer. Now, what I mean by this, let me give another example. You might say, hey, by the way, I'm just letting you know that I've got to text Jane. So if you see me texting her on my phone, that's because we are sorting something at work. We've had a problem at work that I've got to sort. Transparency is basically when you decide to openly share without them actually having to ask you. Okay? So don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with honesty, but being transparent will take your attractiveness to the next level because you are just always keeping them with no questions in their head. Number 8, don't invalidate their feelings. What I mean by this, if you're in an argument or you're in a disagreement and she's saying something that you're just like, what? That's so ridiculous. You're basically blaming me to say that you're feeling like this. I don't get it. You shouldn't be feeling like that. That is where you're invalidating their feelings. That's not what you should do. If they've come up to you saying, look, I feel a certain way, you can't argue with that. No, I completely understand. Look, I'm sorry that you feel like that. I'm sorry if I made you feel like that. That wasn't my intention at all. Okay, so don't go, that's so stupid that you're... No. They feel a certain way, that's going to make them feel worse. Just say, look, I'm so sorry if I made you feel a certain way. That was not my intention at all. Now, number 9, always carry cash. Hear me out. I thought this was very strange when my girlfriend told me this yesterday, but I agree completely. There will be a time where you might lose your phones. Having cash is a really old school, attractive thing that you can do in any emergency. As I said, you don't have to rely on your phones. If you're in a sticky situation, that cash could literally save you to get a taxi home. It could save you to call somebody who you might need to call urgently. And it's the exact reason why, especially back in the day, when men wore suits, they had handkerchiefs here in their blazer. Because it was always used if a woman was upset, they would give their handkerchief to them, right? I think there's something really old school about keeping to that style of living. Now, you can also use this cash, especially when giving tips to people. Waitresses, it's a very masculine thing, a very attractive thing to be kind to people. Something I've tried to do recently is if I see musical performers or someone doing something really cool, like they're grafting for something, right? They're performing on the street, I like to give them a bit of money. I know you can use card a lot these days, but I think it's something amazing about having cash and just in case you ever need it, ever. Number 10, humble confidence. I think there's nothing more attractive than a man being comfortable and true to who he is. The quiet confidence in a man who doesn't need to prove himself. He doesn't need to prove that he's the biggest person in the room, the loudest person in the room. He's just him. He has that humble confidence where he's happy to learn from the other person. He's willing to listen to people. He's willing to not be the loudest, not to show off all the time. Because he knows he doesn't need to, right? Because he knows his worth. So be that person who's open to listen to people. Be a good listener. Hear people out. Let people have their opinions. Don't always try and argue your opinion. Try and understand other people. That is what real confidence and quiet, authentic confidence is. Now, number 11, humour. Now, I've had to put this on the list, but it's at the end for a reason. Because I think there's a line with humour. There's a difference between being charming and just being a little bit of a clown. Being charming with your humour, which is the most attractive thing you can do, is where you're conscious as to when you're using it. You're using it to bring people's day up, to make them feel better, rather than sometimes using humour just in any situation where you're a bit of a clown, let's say, for example, that funny friend. Oh my god, look, it's almost as big as your forehead. You know I don't like my forehead. Your forehead's so big. Sometimes you use humour against people. You sometimes make people feel worse by using humour, rather than using humour as a way to make people feel better and feel good about themselves. So they are the 11 things. If I could leave you with one note, it would simply be just be yourself. Be the attractive self you are. Embrace yourself and consider people. Be considerate and be a good person, and people will find you attractive. You've got this. Thank you. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.